Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through stacks of research, articles, expert insights. Basically, we do the heavy lifting to bring you the most actionable knowledge.
Yeah, cutting right to what works.
And today, our mission is, well, it's pretty fundamental. We're shifting gears from just treating sickness.
The reactive approach.
Exactly, towards a proactive plan for long-term health, built on prevention. We really want to explore how to live long and well, not just, last long.
It's a powerful idea. And the sources we looked at frame it as a choice. Aging itself, sure, that happens. But the decline? Low energy? The research suggests that's often not inevitable.
Meaning?
Meaning feeling tired or run down often comes down to the environment we're giving ourselves. Think about it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Our bodies are constantly renewing cells, right? So the job is to make sure the new ones inherit good condition.
Precisely. And those conditions boil down to three key things.
Cool.
Quality nutrients, enough oxygen, and proper rest. Deep rest.
All right.
And the doctor consulted in our source material laid out a clear foundation for creating that environment. It rests on three pillars. They're distinct but totally connected.
Okay, what are they?
Nutrition, movement, and mental balance.
Yeah.
Get these three right and you tackle maybe 90% of chronic disease risk. It's huge.
90%. Okay, let's unpack this, starting with pillar one. Nutrition, the fuel. It feels like we're just drowning in diet advice these days.
Absolutely. Every year there's a new fad, something else you can't eat.
So if the goal is real longevity, how do we, cut through all that noise?
Well, what's fascinating, and maybe a bit counterintuitive, is that the answer seems to be simplicity.
Simple, really?
Yeah. The sources suggest all that complexity. It often serves the food industry. They sell rules, restrictions. That's profitable. Simple understanding. That's free. Simplify the fuel. The confusion just fades.
Okay, so what does simple look like here? Our research mentioned something called the great-grandmother test.
Exactly. Could your great-grandmother look at it and go, yep, that's food? We're talking whole foods. Vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts.
Clean proteins, water, basically things you recognize.
Right. And the flip side is understanding what throws the body off. These ultra-processed things.
Yeah.
The box with 20 ingredients you can't even pronounce.
Preservatives, additives.
Yeah. Our digestive systems just didn't evolve for that stuff. When it hits the gut, it disrupts things. It forces the body to work overtime detoxifying, often leading to inflammation.
Inflammation, that word keeps coming up.
It's central. But, okay, let's be realistic. Nobody eats perfectly 100% of the time.
Okay.
That sounds exhausting and maybe even a bit stressful in itself.
That's a great point. Isn't that rigidity its own kind of problem?
It absolutely can be, and the sources tackle this head-on. Longevity isn't about rigid restriction. It's about rhythm.
Rhythm, okay.
Which brings us to this key idea. Balance, not perfection. The guideline that came up repeatedly is the 80-20 rule.
80-20, eat well 80% of the time.
Eat real food, yes, 80% of the time. That gives you the flexibility, the bandwidth to enjoy life celebrations, travel the other 20%. It's sustainable.
I guess my worry is, does that 20% somehow undo the good work, if consistency is so important?
It's a valid question. But the body's resilient if the foundation is strong.
Yeah.
And that foundation is built right in your gut. It connects directly to your microbiome.
Ah, the microbiome. Everyone's talking about it.
And for good reason. Think of it like a whole universe living inside you. Trillions of bacteria. They control nutrient absorption, your immune system, even your mood. It's incredible.
Okay, so the 80-20 rule works because the 80% of good stuff keeps that internal universe happy and strong enough to handle the occasional, let's say, less optimal input.
You've got it. If that microbiome gets out of balance, which happens easily with too much processed food, you get chronic inflammation.
And there's that word again.
We really can't stress this enough. Chronic inflammation seems to be the quiet underlying issue behind almost every major chronic disease. Heart disease, Alzheimer's, you name it.
So job one is feeding those tiny gut buddies. Fiber, right. Lots of it.
Fiber, fiber, fiber.
Mm-hmm.
Vegetables of all colors. And fermented foods are great too. Things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut. They directly add beneficial bacteria.
Okay. And what about protein? We hear a lot about needing more as we age.
Yes, protein is crucial for repair. But the emphasis shifts. It's less about huge amounts and more about quality and variety.
So what does that look like?
The sources suggested maybe 2 or 3 small servings a week of really clean animal protein, wild fish, good quality eggs, maybe some grass-fed meat. That's often enough.
Better rest?
Plant proteins, lentils, quinoa, chickpeas. They're fantastic because they also provide that crucial fiber for your microbiome. Double win.
Makes sense. Okay, before we leave nutrition, supplements. That whole aisle in the pharmacy is overwhelming.
Isn't it just? The consensus in our sources was honestly pretty blunt.
Which was?
Most supplements, mostly marketing. If you're eating a varied, whole food diet, you probably don't need much. Food first, always.
But were there any exceptions?
A few came up consistently, mainly because modern life creates specific gaps. Omega-3s are important for inflammation.
Okay.
Vitamin D, especially if you don't get much sun, which is most people for part of the year.
Right.
And magnesium. It seems really crucial for helping the body cope with the physical side of stress.
Got it. Omega-3, vitamin D, magnesium. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Food first, then
Yeah.
maybe consider those three if needed.
Excellent. That wraps up pillar 1 nicely. Let's shift to pillar 2, movement. There's this idea that you need to be an athlete or love the gym.
Yeah, that you have to sweat buckets or it doesn't count.
Right. Is that true for longevity?
It's a total myth,
Yeah.
according to this research.
Right.
Our bodies weren't really designed for intense, specialized gym workouts. They were designed for natural movement.
Like what? Just walking?
Walking, definitely. Stretching, carrying things, squatting down, even just breathing deeply, moving freely. It's consistency that matters, not necessarily high intensity. Movement isn't just exercise, it's medicine.
Movement is medicine. I like that. Is there data on simple movement?
Oh yeah, really powerful data. One stat that stood out, hitting around 10,000 steps a day, or even just 30 minutes of light activity like a brisk walk, can slash your risk of heart disease by something like 40%.
40. Wow. Just from walking?
Just from consistent, moderate movement. It's not about the pace, it's the rhythm. Keeping the engine oiled, the blood flowing, daily.
Okay. So movement helps physically, keeps the heart healthy.
Yes, but there's another crucial benefit. It also helps build the resilience, the mental bandwidth
Yeah.
you need to handle what might be the biggest threat to modern longevity.
Which is?
Internal stress, the constant low-grade pressure.
The perfect lead-in. Okay, let's unpack this. If movement handles the physical side, what about that invisible killer? This takes us to pillar 3, mental balance and recovery.
Yeah, chronic stress, it's corrosive stuff. You know, a burst of cortisol when you face real danger. That's normal, even helpful.
Fight or flight.
All right, but modern life, deadlines, emails, screens, we're often bathing in cortisol constantly. It stays high. And that chronic exposure damages blood vessel linings, weakens your immune system. It literally accelerates aging at the cellular level.
So it's not stress itself, but the unrelieved stress.
Exactly. The goal isn't zero stress that's impossible. It's building in daily defenses, daily recovery.
We're talking about daily recovery time, like small moments.
Tiny moments, micro moments, they add up. Simple things. A 10-minute walk after lunch, just standing up and stretching every hour at your desk. Maybe 10 minutes of quiet before dinner. Anything that interrupts that high cortisol loop.
It sounds simple, but powerful.
It really is. And the most actionable technique we found across the sources, it comes down to breath, mindful breathing.
Breathing. Why is something so basic so effective against stress?
Because it's the fastest way to send a direct all-clear signal to your brain. When we're stressed, our breathing gets shallow, quick. That keeps the fight or flight system, the sympathetic nervous system's switched on. But if you consciously slow down your breath, make it deep. Specifically, the technique mentioned was breathing in through the nose for about 4 seconds, holding gently for maybe 2 seconds, and then a long, slow exhale for 6 seconds. Doing that activates the other system.
The parasympathetic. Rest and digest.
Exactly. You're literally telling your body, hey, you're safe. You can stand down now. The sources suggested doing this just 5 times a day could actually lower resting blood pressure. You're taking back control from your environment.
5 times a day. That seems doable. Okay, alongside breathing, what about the ultimate recovery tool? Sleep.
Sleep. So critical, yet so undervalued.
Most of us are probably scrolling on our phones right until we switch the light off, right?
Which is one of the worst things we can do.
Yeah.
The timing of sleep matters enormously. Your body does its main repair work, fixing tissues, cleaning up the immune system, detoxifying primarily between about 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Really? That specific window?
That's when growth hormone peaks, when the major cellular housekeeping happens. The research actually suggested sleep before midnight is essentially worth double.
Worth double. So
Yeah.
aiming to be asleep by, say, 10:30 p.m.
That would be ideal. And the reason scrolling is so bad, that blue light blasting from screens actively blocks your brain from making melatonin.
The sleep hormone.
Yep. You need melatonin to signal it's time to sleep and to get into that deep restorative phase.
So the practical advice.
It's strict but effective.
Okay.
Set up your sleep environment. Dark,
Yep.
cool, quiet, and absolutely no screens for at least an hour before bed.
An hour? What do you do for an hour?
Read a real book. Remember those.
Yeah.
It's a simple swap, but the payoff for your brain and body is massive.
Okay, a real book instead of a screen.
Mm.
Got it. Now, this is where our sources got really interesting, moving beyond just the physical stuff.
Ah, yes. The hidden pillars.
Exactly. The people who live longest and healthiest, the centenarians studied. They often shared two traits that aren't about diet or exercise. The first one mentioned was purpose.
Yes. This connects back to mental balance, but it's deeper. The research is pretty clear. Having a sense of meaning, whether it's through family, community work, art, learning, whatever drives you, provides a powerful physiological anchor.
A reason to get up in the morning, literally.
Literally. Without purpose, the body kind of drifts. Depression, fatigue can set in no matter how perfectly you eat or exercise. It gives direction.
It's that difference between just surviving and actually thriving. Okay, and the second hidden pillar. This one really surprised me in the research. Social connection.
It's incredibly powerful and maybe the most undervalued health factor of all. Let me just repeat what the data shows. Loneliness can be more dangerous to your health than smoking cigarettes.
Wow. More dangerous than smoking.
It's not just a feeling, it's clinical.
Hmm.
Strong, reliable social connections, friends, family, community, can literally extend your life expectancy by, estimates vary, but maybe 7 to 10 years. We have drastically underestimated the biochemistry of friendships.
So friends are medicine. That's the takeaway.
Absolutely. Simple things, calling a friend you trust, having dinner with family, just sharing a real conversation. These aren't just nice things to do. They release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which actively counteracts stress hormones like cortisol. Longevity needs joy and connection, not just discipline.
Amazing. Okay, so when we pull all this together, the nutrition, the movement, the recovery, plus purpose and connection, what's the big picture?
The overall philosophy that emerges is pretty clear. Health isn't a sprint. It's not about quick fixes or extreme measures. It's more like a quiet, sustained marathon.
Slow and steady.
Exactly. Consistency over extremity. The people who live these long, healthy lives often live quite simply. They're connected. They stay curious.
But listening to all this, the 80-20 food rule, 10,000 steps, bedtime by 10.3, breathing exercises, finding purpose, calling friends, it can feel overwhelming. Where does someone even start?
That's a really important point.
Okay.
And the guidance is very clear. Don't try to overhaul everything overnight. That's a recipe for failure.
So what then?
Start micro. Pick just one small thing this week. Maybe it's adding more green veggies to dinner. Or maybe it's putting your phone away an hour before bed and picking up that book. Just one thing.
And then
Next week, maybe add one more small change. Tiny steps, done consistently. They build momentum, they become habits, and eventually they become your lifestyle. That's how you build lasting health.
small steps become lifestyle. I like that. So what does all this mean for the person listening right now? What's the core message?
I think it means that taking care of yourself, attending to these pillars, isn't selfish. It's actually responsible. It's necessary so you have the energy, the vitality to show up for the people and things you care about. You can pour from a full cup.
Right.
Health is really about harmony. Finding that balance between good fuel, regular movement, proper rest, and connection. It's not about desperately chasing youth. The art of living well, it turns out, is quite simple at its core.
Which is?
Eat real food, move every day, sleep deeply, breathe slowly,
Yeah.
love honestly, and maybe never stop being curious.
That's a fantastic synthesis. The three core pillars: nutrition, movement, mental balance, underpinned by purpose and connection, all driven by consistency and small choices.
Precisely. And maybe one final thought, a provocation for you to take away from this deep dive.
Okay.
The doctor in our sources made a point.
Yeah.
A long life isn't just measured in years lived, but in presence. How much are we truly here for it?
That's presence.
So the question to ask yourself today might be, what's one thing I do on autopilot, one rushed ritual?
Yeah.
Maybe it's grabbing fast food, rushing through work emails, mindless screen scrolling. What's one thing I can consciously choose to slow down today? Because that single act of slowing down, of choosing presence over speed, brings you back to right now and the present moment. That's where the healing happens. That's where life is actually lived. It's the difference between just avoiding death and truly inhabiting your life.